Welcome to my channel. Today we are going to discuss about the objective type question and answer from the unit fourth unit of the discrete time signal processing or DSP. That fourth unit, it is a finite word length effect. Okay, so in that the first video from the topic A to D converter, D to A converter, and from quantizer we are going to discuss about the questions. Okay, so A to D means analog to digital converter. D to A means digital to analog converter, and a quantizer. So in order to construct the digital signal processing or the DSP system, so we needed A to D converter, D to A converter, and quantizer, encoder, etc. Okay, so we will see the question corresponding to that topic. If we want to learn the previous 13 videos for this subject means, I will give link in the description box. You can see. Okay, or in my channel, the discrete time signal playlist, all videos are available in order. You can just check. Okay, and if we want to study the SS signals and system MCQ, so in my channel, in signals and system playlist, the videos are there. Okay, the MCQ videos as well as all topic videos are the 5 unit videos are there, so you can go and see. Okay, thank you. So the first question, you see the interface between an analog signal and a digital processor is dash. D to A converter, A to D converter, modulator, and demodulator. So the interface between analog signal and digital processor is A to D converter. That is, in order to that is the digital processor, it can't process the analog signal. So first analog signal, it is given to A to D converter in order to convert into digital. So that a digital signal is applied to digital processor. So the interface between the our analog signal and digital processor is A to D converter. Okay. Then the next question, the speech signal is obtained after dash. Okay. So in digital signal processing, after processing the signal, the speech signal, okay, the resultant output. So that output is obtained after analog to digital conversion, digital to analog conversion, modulation, quantization, digital to analog conversion. So in receiver section, the last section, it's a digital to in receiver side, we have to convert the received digital signal into again analog. So the speech signal is obtained after digital to analog conversion. The next one, the telegraph signals are examples of digital signal, analog signal, impulse signal, pulse train. The telegraph signal are examples of digital signal. Okay. Then the next one, as compared to analog system, the digital processing of signals allow first one, programmable operation, second one, flexibility in the system design, third one, cheaper system, fourth one, more reliability. Okay, so as compared to analog system, the digital processing of signals allow which one? Okay, so in this four, which one is correct means all four is correct. Okay, the digital processing allows the programmable operation, cheaper, more reliability, and the flexibility in the system design. Then the next question, the Nyquist theorem for sampling. Okay, so in order to convert the continuous time signal into discrete signal, we are using the process, it is called as sampling. So in order to perform the sampling, that sampling must obey the theorem, it is called as a very important theorem in communication theory, it's a Nyquist theorem. So the Nyquist theorem for sampling relates the condition in time domain and frequency domain, helps in quantization, limits the bandwidth requirement, gives the spectrum of the signal. So which one is correct means the 1 and 3 is a correct. That is, it relates the condition in time domain and frequency domain, and it limits the bandwidth requirement. So according to the Nyquist theorem, if you want to perform the sampling and the reconstruction process effectively, we have to take samples. We have to select the sampling frequency fs. It should be greater than or equal to twice the maximum frequency of our information signal or message signal. Okay, so that's why it limits the bandwidth requirement. Then the next thing, when a frequency band is selected, we can specify the sampling rate and the characteristics of the pre-filter which is also known as dash filter. Okay, when the frequency band is selected, we can specify the sampling rate and the characteristics of pre-filter, which is also known as dash. It's an anti-aliasing filter. So before performing the sampling process, first the input signal is passed via one low pass filter. That pre-filter, it is called as a anti-aliasing filter. Okay. Then the next thing, what are the main characteristics of anti-aliasing filter? Okay, what are the characteristics of anti-aliasing filter? Ensures the bandwidth of signal to be sampled is limited to a frequency range. To limit the additive, noise spectrum, and other interference which corrupts the signal, all of the mention, none of the mention. Okay, so all of the mention, both is correct. This anti-aliasing filter is used to first limit the bandwidth of the incoming signal. Okay, and if you are using this anti-aliasing filter, we will not get any that aliasing effect okay, in the output of the sampled signal. So both the thing is correct only. So C is a correct thing. Then the next one, what is the configuration of system for digital processing of analog signal? Okay, so in order to process the signal digitally, so which one is correct? Okay, first one, the analog signal is given to pre-filter. Okay, so first one, before performing the sampling process, the analog filter is given to pre-filter. It is called as an anti-aliasing filter. Then we have to give it to A to D converter. Okay, so within this pre-filter, there is a anti-aliasing filter as well as the sampler is there. Then analog to digital converter. Okay, we have to convert the analog signal into digital. Then that digital signal is given to the digital processor in order to process. And again, that digital output is given to the D to A converter. Okay, then after that, finally, post filter, that is in order to convert the analog, in order to convert the desired signal, we will get the post filter. Okay, in order to avoid the noise, in order to eliminate the noise signal, the finally we have to use one low pass filter, that is called as a post filter. So this B is the correct thing. Okay, this is the correct way of processing analog signal in a digital in DSP. The next one, which of the following should be done in order to convert a continuous time signal into discrete time signal? So already know this question, we studied in signals and system. In order to convert the continuous time signal into discrete signal, we have to use the process, it is called as sampling. Okay, the sampling is the foremost step in a digital signal processing. Okay, it's a very important and foremost step in the digital signal processing. It is used to convert the continuous time signal x of t into discrete signal x of n. Okay, so if you want to learn more about this sampling process, in signals and system playlist, I posted the separate video for this sampling, Nyquist sampling theorem and related problems and so on. Okay, then the next thing, the process of converting the discrete time continuous valued signal into discrete time discrete valued signal is known as dash. Okay, the sampling converts continuous time signal into discrete time signal. Okay, that is different. So the process of converting discrete time continuous valued signal x of n into discrete time discrete valued signal, it is called as a digital signal. Digital signal means, you know, the signal is having only two definite amplitudes, one is 0, other one is 1. Okay, so in order to convert this discrete time continuous valued signal into digital signal, which process we are using? So that is called as a quantization. The next thing, the difference between unquantized input x of n and quantized output x q of n is known as dash. Okay, in a quantization, for quantization, we are applying the unquantized input x of n, and the quantized output, it is referred to as x q of n. So the difference between x q minus x of n, it is called as a quantization error. Okay, so the quantization error is the difference in signal obtained after quantization. Okay, after sampling x of n and after quantized output x cube. So the difference between x cube and x of n, it is called as a quantization error. Then the next question, which of the following is a digital to analog conversion process? Star case approximation, linear interpolation, quadratic interpolation, all of the mentioned. So the above three, okay, all the three is a digital to analog conversion process. Okay, star case approximation, linear interpolation, and a quadratic interpolation. All this thing is a digital to analog conversion process. The next one, the basic task of A to D converter is to convert discrete set of digital code words into continuous range of input amplitudes. Okay, this is true or false. So the basic task of A to D converter is that in order to convert analog signal into digital signal. But here you see the statement is given that A to D converter is to convert discrete set of digital code into continuous range of input amplitude. So it's a false. Okay. And then the next thing, what is the type of quantizer? Okay. In the digital communication, you studied the different types of quantizer. What is the type of quantizer if a 0 is assigned a quantization level? Okay, if 0 is assigned in a quantization level means, so that type of quantizer is called as mid-rise type, mid-thread type, mid-read type, none of the above. Mid-thread type. Okay, so this type of quantizer is called as mid-thread type. Then what is the type of quantizer if a 0 is assigned a decision level? Okay, if 0 is assigned quantization level means it's a mid-thread type. If 0 is assigned a decision level means that type of quantizer, it is called as a mid-rise type. Okay, mid-rise type. Then the next one, what is the term used to describe the range of A to D converter for bipolar signal? So, which term is used to describe the range of analog to digital converter for bipolar signal? Full scale range. Okay, the full scale range FSR is used to full scale range. It is used to describe the range of A to D converter for bipolar signal. That is the signal with both positive and negative amplitude. The next thing, what is the term used to describe a range of analog to digital converter for unipolar signal? So for unipolar signal, the range, it is called as a full scale. Okay, FS is used for used to indicate that thing. Okay, unipolar means you know the amplitude is only positive range. Okay, 0 to positive. Then the next one, what is the fixed range of quantization error EQ of n? Okay, so the quantization error, usually the quantization error ranges, the EQ of n ranges from minus del by 2 to plus del by 2. The quantization error, it ranges, it lies between minus of del by 2 to del by 2, where del is a quantization level. The next thing, if the dynamic range of signal is smaller than the range of quantizer, the samples that exceed the quantizer are clipped, resulting in large quantization error. Okay, so this is false. If the dynamic range of the signal is smaller than the range of quantizer, the sampler that exceeds the quantizer are clipped, resulting in large quantization error. The statement is false. Then what is the step size or resolution of A to D converter? So the step size del, the step size in terms of the range, it is called, the formula is that the step size del is equal to R divided by 2 to the power B plus 1, where R is a range, B is the number of bits, okay, used to represent that data. So R divided by 2 to the power B plus 1, it is the step size or resolution. Next one, in practical A to D converter, if the first transition may not occur at exactly plus 1 by 2 LSB, okay, least significant bit, then such kind of error is known as dash. Okay, in practical A to D converter, the first transition may not occur at exactly 1 by 2 LSB, such kind of error is called as offset error. Okay, so that error is called as offset error. Then the next question, in practical A to D converter, if the difference between the values at which the first transition and the last transition is not equal to the full scale minus 2 into LSB, then such an error is known as scale factor error. Okay, scale factor, the different, if the difference between the values between the first transition and the last transition is not equal to Fs minus 2 LSB, that error is called as scale factor error. Then next one, in same practical A to D converter, if the difference between transition value are not all equal or uniformly changing, then such an error is called as linearity error. Okay, so the difference between the transition level is not equal. That type of error is called as linearity error. The next one, for a given number of bits, the power of quantization noise is proportional to the variance of the signal to be quantized. Yes, it's a true. The power P, the power of the quantization noise is always proportional to the variance sigma squared, is always proportional to the sigma E squared. It's a true. Then the next one, the quality of output signal from A to D converter is measured in terms of dash. Okay, signal to quantization noise ratio. The quality of the output obtained from A to D converter, analog to digital converter, is measured in terms of signal to quantization noise ratio. That's an important term in the measurement of that quantizer. Then, which bit coder is required to code a signal with 16 levels? Okay, so which type of coder we have to use in order to code a signal with 16 levels? Okay, we needed 4 bits. That is 2 to the power 4. 2 to the power 4 means the answer is 16. If 16 level we want to use means we have to use 4-bit coder. Okay, if 8 level means the number of bit is 3-bit we needed. 2-bit means we can represent only 4 levels. Okay, that is the relation. That is 2 to the power 4. This 2 to the power 4 is equal to 16. Okay, this is the thing. Then if the sampling rate Fs satisfies the sampling theorem, the relation between the quantization error of analog signal and discrete time signal. Okay, quantization error of analog signal and discrete signal is dash. If the sampling rate is satisfies, okay, that is we chosen the Fs, it should be greater than or equal to 2 FM. What is the relation between EQ of T, EQ of En? So both quantization error, it must be equal when then the sampling rate, it satisfies the sampling theorem. Okay, if the sampling theorem it obeys, the error in A to D conversion is quantization error. So for both signal, that quantization error remains same. Okay, the next one, if the input analog signal is within the range of quantizer, the quantization error EQ of n is bounded in magnitude and the resulting error is called dash. If the quantization error value, the modulus of EQ of n is less than lambda by 2 means, so that resulting error, it is called as a granular noise. Okay, granular noise. So we studied the granular noise and that overload noise in that DM, okay, delta modulation. Okay, so from that the question is that if the input analog signal falls outside the range of quantizer, becomes unbounded and results in dash. Okay, so that is called as overload noise. Okay, so these are all the 2 types of noise in delta modulation. If the quantization error is limited means that error is called as granular noise. If the input signal falls outside the range of quantizer means that error is called as a overload noise. Okay. The next thing, what is the abbreviation of SQNR? SNR, you know, SNR means signal to noise ratio. This is SQNR, signal to quantization noise ratio. Okay, SQNR means signal to quantization noise ratio. What is the scale used for the measurement of SQNR? So in order to measure the signal to quantization noise ratio, we are using the term, it is called as same, decibels. Okay, the decibel only. Then the next one, what is the expression for SQNR? Okay, signal to quantization noise ratio formula, which can be expressed in a logarithmic scale. Okay, so the signal to quantization noise ratio, it is nothing but it's a ratio of signal power to the quantization noise power. Signal power to the quantization noise power. If we want to express in logarithmic scale means it's a 10 log of Px divided by Pn, where Px is a signal power, Pn is the quantization noise power. Okay, with the log to the power base 10. So this the first one A is a correct thing. 10 log of Px divided by Pn. Px is the input signal power, Pn is the quantization noise power. In the equation SQNR equal to 10 log Px by Pn, what are the terms Px and Pn are called? Okay, the Px is nothing but signal power. Pn is nothing but quantization noise power. So you see, B is the correct answer. Signal power, Px is nothing but signal power. Pn is nothing but power of the quantization noise. The next one, if the quantization error is uniformly distributed in the range minus del by 2 to del by 2, the mean value of that error is 0, then the variance Pn is dash. Okay, so if the quantization error is the sigma value, it ranges from minus del by 2 to del by 2, mean value of that error is 0, then what about the variance? So the variance is nothing but the variance Pn, it is sigma E squared, is nothing but del squared divided by 12. Okay, so this is the mean, this is the variance of the particular quantization error, del squared divided by 12. Okay, so these are all the some of the questions about the A to D converter, D to A converter, and quantizer used in digital signal processing. Okay, so we'll meet in the next video. So thanks for watching my channel, and please subscribe my channel for more videos. If you want to learn the remaining video, I will give link in the description box. You can see, or in my channel, the DTSP playlist. In order, all videos are available. So we will meet in the next video. Thank you.